the backstory, inspiration, the lore of My Nights Glow Yellow.
Sure. This was made as part of a program sponsored by Indeed, and we were given the prompt, The Future of Work. And to me, I think human companionship is something that our society is needing more and more, and I think that need is only going to grow as we become more connected, but at the same time disconnected with social media and AI and all of like creating personas online and stuff like that. So my mind naturally went there, and then I discovered that there's actually kind of a booming industry of hired companions in Japan. And then there's like not as booming, but also somewhat of an industry here. So that was super interesting.
Wait, can you expand more on this like industry that's happening here?
Just like a smaller gig setup where people are hired to become companions. So I ended up interviewing and hiring a few people. It's
just like the film? Really?
Yeah.
In real life experience, y'all, this is crazy. And also, Jera, how did you get involved?
Me and Hannah were like friends before we actually attend Rising Voices. We both graduated from Film Independent Project Involved at the same year, and then we made a movie together back then, and then we ended up like working together again. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So it's been a while, like a long-standing relationship in some kind.
Yeah, we were talking about on the way here how many years we've been knowing each other and how many years we've been seeing people around us like growing. Yeah, it's nice.
Would you consider this relationship work then?
Of course.
Okay.
It's one of the best. Yeah.
And so I think I want to go back because like the theme of work is what is happening here. So I guess, how did you see human companionship in that work intersection?
I think it's a very tricky gray area, which is something I also explore in the film. But I also think that it's just not monetary, but there's always some sort of exchange when it comes to a human relationship, and just because it's money doesn't make it any less real, I think is kind of the conclusion that I landed on after talking to those people. And sometimes getting that transactional element out of the way by just paying someone, you can actually be more honest and get even deeper when it comes to these relationships. So it's a different kind of relationship, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that really relates back to one of the like lines that a lot of the programmers, a lot of the people who have seen it, and also I'm sure the audiences have really taken in, was maybe the fact that you pay for time makes the experience more valuable, not less. And so is that also aligned with like what you've been discussing here in the past question too?
Yeah, for sure. I think it just fulfills a different need. I think when it comes to relationships and what different relationships fulfill different sides of, I think, what we crave in human interaction.
Like an egg-throwing friend, or someone you go grocery shopping with and they give you rice cakes and then you choke on them.
I want an egg-throwing friend.
You want an egg-throwing friend?
That's what I need, yes.
Okay. So I guess then I want to know how you came up with these ideas for these like hired companions, because that egg throwing friend and the screaming, I need that too. You and I both.
So the egg throwing is kind of funny. Initially, we wanted a giant mural to shoot in front of, to sort of like basically have Casey showing a friend around the city who's just visiting LA for a short period of time. So Jera and I drove around LA trying to find a mural that would work, but due to permits and getting the rights from the artist of the mural is just like impossible. So then it kind of became like, okay, I can't get a mural, maybe I can make a mural. And then it went from like paint to we just gotta make it easy, what's interesting and easy to clean up, and then it turned into egg. But I think it worked out.
It's one of the most memorable parts of that short, I feel like. You just have this insane, like, hired companion to throw eggs at. So since you've already started talking about, like, some of the adventures, what are some fun stories or adventures from set or, like, production? Because you both now can answer this question.
Such a genius ideas, throwing eggs. I love that. Yeah, I love that. So I think how many days we shot? 3.5, and we had 12 locations. You can see like all that is 3.5 days.
That's 3.5 days for 12 locations?
Yeah, so it kind of pissed our EP. They were like, you can't do that in 3 days, but we did it. So like I still I think we're still very glad that we did it. We made the film. And then I think a very fun fact for me is every time I've seen this like 6 times, I think now and then on smaller screens, big screens, but not counting the editing session. Every time I've seen it, like I think I have a better understanding of the film. So that's the reason why I like it a lot. Yeah. But yeah. Fun fact. We were very feel very bad about eggs actually. Yeah.
Wait, why?
So many eggs we throw. Like, and then we have to clean the wall afterwards. And then you saw the Michelle, like the Casey, the egg she throws super high, so we have to use like tools to clean the wall.
What did you use to clean the wall?
Like brushes, like
long brushes?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's very funny.
That is extremely funny. I did notice that in the scene. I was just like, it's so high up there. How did they even throw it that far up?
Yeah.
And what about you, Hannah?
Fun fact. So during the birthday party scene, Jera is actually the birthday girl because we didn't have enough extras, so we were filling up the table. So Jera's also an actor in this movie. Yeah. And then there was like a big COVID issue, but it's not so much a fun fact, just like a big hurdle that we had to overcome, which we did. Yeah.
That reminds me, the happy birthday reminds me. Y'all, last week it was Hannah Bang's birthday, so can we just say happy birthday to Hannah Bang?
Thank you.
Everyone's here to say happy birthday to you. I think I'll ask one more question and then I'll bring it to the audience. So what was a really fun conversation among programmers was human connection, was about this blurring of boundaries and capitalism and loneliness. And I think what's really interesting for me, and I want to know more, is like, where is the line between transaction and relationship, and what makes a transaction to you, or what makes a relationship to you without this, kind of give and take. And Jera, you can also answer this too, since you've seen it 6 times, so you come away with a new thing every time.
Yeah, I don't know if there is a difference. I think it's just how meaningful that transaction is.
Okay.
I think that's what makes a relationship more or less deep or important. But I think it's always I think transaction maybe sounds like a dirty word, but it maybe isn't.
Maybe we need to redefine the connotation of transaction. I like that. I'm gonna put that to use in the future soon.
Cool. Also, my lead, Michelle Mao, recently got cast in the Bridgerton series. So gonna be really famous soon.
Oh my gosh, you're discovering talent.
Exactly.
Dang.
She's great. Yeah. So she's gonna be a star.
Yeah.
She already is, but
Yeah, she did so well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like her. What was transaction and relationship? I think that's my question after watching this 6-7 times after like the whole process of making the film. To me, I feel like I don't know, like it's human being is very complicated. Like we try to find a meaning of everything we did, but actually maybe there's something that there's no meaning. Like we're just doing it for doing it.
Yeah.
Like yeah. And maybe sometimes if we like forget about all that, it's a better life. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the meaning that we make or create for each thing is really the important part of that. So I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna open it up to the audience. So if anyone has any questions, raise your hands and I'll pass the mic over to y'all. No questions? Okay, we got a question!
I might not need the mic, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I found the twist between Casey and her sister interesting. Was it so in the end Casey is actually alone and is she so she was working the whole time and then at the end of the day she comes home to someone that's not always there? Was that the case?
so yes, her sister, or who we thought was her sister, is actually a companion that she hired. So she was also using the service as well as working for the company.
I can
You don't need a mic.
Yeah. I love how you guys also showed that when she's not interacting with a hired companion, she kind of doesn't know what to do with herself in every situation. For example, with the rice cakes, you could tell she has she doesn't know what to do at all. Especially with the twist at the end, and knowing that you have to, as you write it, you are very specific and intentional. What was behind your thought process of putting those moments in there as well, and what did they mean to you as well?
Yeah, thank you for catching those moments. I think I wanted to both Casey and the audience to question what felt real versus not. And I think in that scene at the bar when she's fixing the fork and that guy comes in, I wanted to, I think, even further push, like, oh, is she actually on a date or is this another session? And so as you watch the movie, that boundary becomes blurrier and blurrier, and then hopefully that leads us to sort of like look at relationships in general and think about them in different aspects.
Thank you.
I was wondering if, because at the end of the movie, we find out that the MC is not only, not only, a worker but also a client of the service. If any of the previous interactions she's had, if any of them she's actually she's actually a client instead of the server.
That's interesting. No, not in my mind, no, but I think that's kind of open to the viewer's interpretation. Yeah, in my mind, it was the relationship with her sister that she was mainly using the service for.
Piggybacking off of their comment, so So the 2 times she essentially went off task, there were elements of danger, or she felt that maybe she was being stalked that one time, and then obviously like physically she ended up choking from accepting her client's extra gift. Was that intentional? Like going off task would put her in danger?
No, but that's interesting. Yeah, I think to me, the fact that she would potentially choke and die alone in her apartment was dark, but also kind of like darkly comedic. And like like you could kind of think of it as the loneliest way to die, which I thought was sort of fitting for her. And then with the stalking bit, you know, I think Michael was definitely one of her closest clients, and she was playing with that boundary of going beyond the app and just meeting him as a person. And when it gets truly tested and the subject of money comes up, she just gets really defensive and accusatory. So I don't think he was stalking her, but again, that's also, I think, something that's left to be decided depending on the viewer.
Fantastic. I will wrap it up with one last question, the question that I feel like all filmmakers get. What's next? What's after this?
I'm working on a feature script, which I hopefully get to make sometime in the near future, and I'm also currently going around town pitching a TV show. So hopefully, it's called Pearl. That's all I'll say for now.
It's the 7th year of my startup film production company. So we initially started in a production office. There's no window. I was just telling a joke with Hannah. And we're looking for places to move now. Like it's been the 4th time that we move office. So then we're moving into a so much better location, and we initially just started doing like independent short films and support us by commercials and music videos, and then now like we're able to start helping filmmakers to invest into short films and feature films. So yeah, that's the goal. And next year we have like 2 shorts and 1 feature in like planned that we wanted to kind of like start to read scripts and help filmmakers.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. What a boss. What an amazing person. Boss lady. 2 boss ladies, y'all, right here. Anyways, thank you all for joining us for this Q&A. We have a reception at the patio playing Tokyo Drift again and again, so if you want to go hang out over there, chat up some filmmakers. See you all next time.